We met 34 years ago in Berkeley. Fred was living and working there at the time, and I actually, at that time, was a college professor, and I had a grant from the National Endowment for the Humanities to spend a summer in a seminar at UC Berkeley. So I was in Berkeley, he was in Berkeley, and the twain met.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 34 years ago. I think Bob's biggest concern when I retired was, oh my gosh, he's going to be
Home all the time.
here. 3 years ago, I signed up to be a storyteller here. It was something that I'd seen happening in the museum, and I thought that it was a terrific program. And so I've now been a storyteller on a regular basis for the last 2 years.
I first got intimately involved in the museum after I also retired and was looking around for something interesting to do, and started going to a Friday morning lecture series at the Museum. The Society of Asian Art actually sponsors at the museum. And I happened to have a PhD in history that I hadn't used in 30 years, and I found these lectures to be fabulous. They were, even though I knew virtually nothing about Asian history, I was learning a lot, and over time that morphed into the docent training program, and I became a docent after 3.5 years. And this was one of the most intellectually challenging and stimulating things I've done in 30 years. The museum is one of those organizations that once you get your foot in the door, it sucks you in. As a result of this, one of the things we both found is that we have 30 or 40 new best friends. So from the purely selfish perspective, I am thoroughly enjoying the experience. The other side of the coin is, what am I giving back, I guess, and being as a docent, I'm introducing the community to this wonderful institution that we have here. I look at the art not as art, but as an entree into the history of the culture. Well, the art tells a story. You know, why did they make this art? What did they use it for? Who made it? Who bought it? Who sold it? And all that kind of information is part of the experience of coming to the Asian Art Museum. I had a school tour just this past week, and my 10 kids, there were about half of them were from Somalia. They were Muslim. I took them into the West Asia Gallery, and we had this gorgeous Quran, and they were just thoroughly excited that these kids could come and not only look at the Quran, but they read it to me. I'm pretty sure these kids would be really excited when they go home and tell their parents, this is what we found in the Asian Art Museum.
What is the most satisfying for me is that when we bring students through the museum and we engage them and they engage themselves with our art, that realization in the students' faces when they see that art doesn't stand by itself. You know, did you know that in the school programs in this current school year, over 25,000 people visited the Asian to participate in school programs? And you think of that, when I think of that, it's an astounding number. And Bob and I had a hand in supporting that, being docents and storytellers. And I think that is really something that I can take a lot of pride in, being part of the Asian.